Alright, I'm going to attempt again to do an Orangeburg song. Couple things. So, my guitar is in drop D, and it's set up to that, and the song is in drop C. I don't want to drop tune this. It's not going to stay in tune, so I'm, what do you call that? I'm transposing it. So it's, if you hear anything that's just like the guitar, but like through my audio mic, it's gonna sound it's gonna be in the wrong key. But on the actual audio recording, it's gonna be in C because I transposed it. I'm gonna mess up a lot too, so we'll see how this goes. Oh shit.
What
mess up so much there, but whatever. My God. Yeah, there's even parts that I don't even remember. I don't remember half this shit. Oh, man. I don't know why. I get lost in that one part. Oh, well, let's see how it goes. I heard he used to be in a band or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were that big. They toured and stuff.
Yeah, they used to call him Sleazy G or something. I don't get it. The Georgezilla Podcast. All right. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm like super giggly right now. No idea. Totally sober too. All I've had is coffee. I had Starbucks, so I just played guitar. Maybe that's why I was playing. Oh, dude, these are so good. So good. The same. I think I'm just like giddy because I was playing guitar, but I was playing some Orangeburg Massacre. And that was my band when I was like 19 or 20. I don't know. It was kind of fun. So just kind of crazy to rehash some of those songs and then try to play it again. I don't know how I did it back then. So, anyways, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But as you can see, maybe I'm standing. So I have this very cool desk. I mean, everybody has them now, but you know, it's one of those adjustable desks, and you can sit. And I have it set to like a certain height, perfect for my knees and stuff. Perfect to put my hands down, you know, when I'm gaming and stuff, editing or whatever. And then this, like when my back hurts, which I have a bad sciatic, like everybody on this planet, it helps to stand up a lot. So yeah. And one of the big things now is that I like to stand playing guitar when I record tracks and whatnot. Yeah, so there you go. But hopefully this recording of the song works because I was having so many issues. For some odd reason, you can't... Okay, so I use VSTs to record my guitars and all that stuff. And I use Neural DSP, and I use Easy Drums and Reaper to record. That's my DAW and my DAW. But for some fucking reason, you can't stream on... Well, I'm not even streaming, but I'm recording with Streamlabs OBS, and it doesn't pick up the Neural DSP. Now, there's a way around it. I figured it out a long time ago, but it adds a fucking huge delay on my guitar. And it's to the point to where I hear the delay in my ear, and it messes me up playing. It's really bad. But it does record the guitar. Sounds like shit. So I figured out a way to do it, and I'm hoping that it worked. Just sucks because I wanted to do just like play-alongs, you know. I would just put on some music and just play along to it like live or whatever, but I can't. I can't do it. So I have to do everything separate. It's dumb. It's dumb. Whatever. But yeah, that was my my new guitar. It's the XJ1, I believe. It's ESP LTD, and I love it. I love that guitar. It sounds and feels better than my ESP LTD. I have a I can't remember. It's an Eclipse, but it's like the God, I can't remember the actual name. It's one that has like the gold lining and all that shit. It's got an EMG 8185. Love that thing. Got it off to some kid going to college like 15 years ago. I paid like $600 for that thing, and it shreds. Um, love that guitar. If you've ever played ESPs or LTDs, they're a lot different than your average guitar. And one of the things that I've noticed, and some people don't like this, but I don't really care because I'm all about like the finish, the end product. But uh, sometimes the ESPs or LTDs, they feel very light and very like there's no like the material they make the guitar out of, whatever wood or whatever, it doesn't seem like it resonates. You know, like when you play, okay, when you play like a Gibson, I've had a bunch of Gibsons. I had a my favorite Gibson custom Les Paul. I think it's like a 2010 Black Beauty or whatever, and that guitar just playing it unplugged, you can hear it like really loud. It resonates through the body, and that's usually, from what I know, it's a good sign. It sounds good. So the ESP, my LTD, whatever, it doesn't really do that. And I was like, oh man, this sounds. I mean, whatever. It's not supposed to be played like that. But then when you plug it in, it's a different story. It shreds. It's awesome. This guitar, which is an ESP LTD, it feels like the weight of my Gibson Les Paul, which is insane because that thing was a backbreaker, and it feels so much better to play than my other ESP LTD Eclipse. Anyways, whatever. That's just me. Sounds awesome. It's got a Fishman influence pickup in the bridge. I don't remember the name of it, but it's active and it is hot.
It's
Man.
hot.
It is. Now, I'm an EMG guy. I'm not gonna say it's better than the EMG, but right now it sounds awesome. And I think the reason why it seems more hot than my
It's hot.
other guitar that has EMGs is because I haven't switched the battery. And I know that sounds stupid, whatever. Everyone's haters on EMGs, but EMGs, man, I love them. Whatever, you like what you like. But yeah, I think my other ESP just doesn't have a new battery in it. I think if I put a battery in it, it'll be hot.
It's hot.
But whatever. I like my guitar. So, oh, one thing. So one thing that I was reading, listening to. I don't know. It's probably on TikTok or some shit. Or no, I don't have TikTok anymore. It's on Instagram videos. But I'm a big Beatles fan, huge Beatles fan, and obviously, like I'm a lot younger than the era that listened to them, but I still appreciate what they've done with music. And so there's different ways to record. There's like you can use like a 4-track, 8-track, keep going, whatever. Back in the day, they had very rudimentary things or ways to do stuff. They would bounce. I think they only had 4 tracks. I don't know. Don't quote me. And I think they'd like bounce them back and forth to make more tracks, like virtual tracks, so to speak. Uh, where now you can have like almost an infinite number of tracks and you can plug in all these things and whatnot. But the Beatles didn't have that. A lot of bands didn't have that. But their first recordings, I found out, I knew this before, but I found out, it's all in mono. And if you guys listen to music, it's in your right ear and your left ear. That's stereo, okay? But theirs is in mono, but then they have remasters and remixes that are in stereo. And for the most part, and even me, I was always like, yeah, stereo, gotta listen to the stereo version. But the difference is these guys, the Beatles, recorded in mono, so when you hear these different things on the stereo versions, you're not hearing it the way they heard it. And that's kind of strange because there's been times where I've recorded things and I've listened to it like on my headsets. I have like studio headsets, and I'm like, okay, like, you can pick out what needs to change, whatever levels and all that stuff. And I thought I was good, just by listening to it. I sent it to one of my buddies, and he's like, dude, like, what? The guitar sounds weird, and whatever's going on. And that's what it is. It's because different audio systems and whatever, it plays it differently. It sounds different. So that's why you try to get these, studio monitors or headsets that are just like flat, so you don't have any added bass, added treble, added anything. But my point being is that just imagine recording songs, like really good songs, and then like, I don't know, 50 years from now, they don't have the same way to play it, and it's still good when you hear it, but it's not the intended way. So it's different. It's I don't know. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing to think about.
That's all, folks.
I mean, I would nitpick the shit out of that. I'd be like, that's not how it sounded when I recorded it. Anyways, whatever. But one thing, I didn't really have a bunch of topics, but since I was playing guitar, hopefully this works on here. The sound anyways. But I wanted to just briefly just have a little funny to me discussion, I guess. I was just thinking back when I was playing these songs. I was just thinking of going on tour and all that. And I've only toured a couple times, and they're only U.S. tours. But I have a couple stories that I kind of remember that I want to kind of talk about just going. And the premise of everything, you gotta understand, I was like in my mid-20s maybe when I was touring, and I was an alcoholic. I don't know, man. I had a bottle of like Captain or Sailor in the back seat of the van all the time, and I was I always had a guitar in my hand. Whoever was driving would hear me yelping out stuff and playing really bad because I was drunk. Anyways, so I only have certain recollections. Now, if I went back and talked to other members, especially one of my drummers that didn't drink or anything, and he has the best memory ever, but I don't want to, I'm not going to go there. So, yeah. I don't remember the city, states, but I remember being on tour and just, there's a lot of funny things that happen, a lot of weird things.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown.
I forgot about too, but I'll talk about hopefully two things. But one of the things I remember, I don't know what state, I don't know what city, I don't know where we played. Don't know. I do remember it was really cold, and this had to have been a winter tour. Had to have been. And I remember it was like snowing or something, and the guy that booked the show, he invited the band. I guess this is kind of what some of these not the venues, but the booking agents do. If they don't pay you or they don't pay you enough, they're like, hey man, you can stay at my house or something. And that was like what we got paid, which was actually nice. So I remember we played the show, and then it was the booking agent and the wife or girlfriend, and they're just like, yeah, we live over here, just follow us, come back to the house, you can stay however long you need, and whatever. And like I said, it was probably the winter tour. I remember being freezing in the van, but we still slept in the van many times. If it was really bad, we would get a hotel room or something like that. But yeah, they offered their house, so we took the offer. And as soon as we got there, I just know at the front door, it was just kind of strange. I remember seeing just some cameras, more than what's normal. And you gotta understand, this was a long time ago. Like no one really had all these cameras now that everybody has. You can get those I don't even remember the name, Ring cameras or something, but these are like some crazy security cameras. And we go inside, and you don't expect much when you go into someone's house, and it was just really gritty, dirty, fine, whatever. But they're just like, yeah, like go in the living room, and we'll bring out some snacks and drinks and whatever. So we're all like, all right, this is cool, watching TV. And then they come out with like this big tray. And on the tray, yeah, there's like some drinks or something, like might have been beers. And then there's like baggies and stuff. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And yeah, there was drugs.
You guys want to smoke some drugs?
And,
I don't think so, Kyle.
all I did back then was I just drank. I didn't want any of that stuff. And I remember them offering it. We're like, no, we're good. And I don't know if anyone partaked in it. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. But I just remember being super tired. And that was like the story of my life. I was always drunk, hungover, tired from the show before, maybe sick. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. Not only that, like my anxiety was through the roof. That was not fun. So I remember we just talk to them. They're really welcoming, and they're just like, yeah, we got this extra room. You guys can, just sleep there in the ground. And there was a heater, like I don't know, you call them a space heater or something. It was just like an empty room, but it was kind of crummy, And then I just remember talking to them, and then like they brought up like on one of the TV screens, they brought up a feed of the cameras, and I was like, that is just weird, man. And so of course everyone wanted to know, why do you have these cameras? And these guys were cool, the guy and the girl, they're cool, but there was something a little off. And they were kind of hinting at it, but they're like basically saying, we've had problems or run-ins with the law. And I'm just like, God, you get me out of here, because it was just weird, just a strange situation. After they offered us that tray of whatever, I was so just like, I was over it. And I didn't want anything else. I didn't want food. I didn't want drinks. Nothing from them. I thought they were trying to like drug us or something. So I remember going into that room, and we're just all talking, and we're all tired. We're all cold, and we all have our. I was in like my. I was probably wearing just like an off day clothes. I was probably wearing exactly what I'm wearing right now, with some freaking shorts or something like that. I don't know. And I had my sleeping bag, and I just went in, turned the heater on, and went to sleep. But we all planned. We were all planning like, hey, first thing in the morning, whoever wakes up first, wake everybody up. We're getting the fuck out of there because, we don't know. Like, we just started thinking like they're gonna get raided or something, and there's drugs and all this stuff. And yeah, it was just a really weird situation. One of the funny things that happened, it's funny to me. So there's that big space heater or something, and my bass player was a knucklehead, and he wanted to sleep like right next to it, and I'm like, dude, that thing is hot. Just be careful. And I remember when he woke up in the middle of the night or something, like his sleeping bag like melted to him or something. Fucking idiot. Um, yeah, that was a crazy, crazy night. And I know that's not like what everyone wants to hear. Everyone wants to hear some crazy, stupid stories, but for me, that was a night. Uh, Among other nights. Uh, but I will talk about this last one, and this one's kind of iffy, man. And I remember where I was because this was like traumatizing. And this for sure was Winter Tour. I remember now. God, this thing, whatever. So we were in Texas. Um, God, I want to say, this can be a double story for this one. So I'm pretty sure we played at this place, this venue called Chicks in Texas. It was an okay venue, but it's called Chicks. And it's CHICS. So we pulled up to this venue, and it was probably 4 or 5 hours before we played or something like that. There was nobody there. No one even answering the door to let us in so we could load our stuff. Nothing. So we're in the parking lot. It's nighttime, and we're in Texas. It might have been my first time there. And we had nothing to do, so my singer, he brought a beer bong, because people did beer bongs back then. And they're just taking beer bong rips, whatever you want to call it. So, of course, I had to. So we're getting it started. We're like, whatever. And, I'm pretty positive my drummer's like, hey, George, come on, chill out. Like, don't drink so much. And I was like, whatever. I'm on vacation. I'm on tour. I didn't care. Yeah, it got boring. Got boring taking all these beer bong rips, whatever. And there's nothing going on. The venue hadn't even opened yet. I could have went in there. I could have, like, taken a bird bath, brushed my teeth or something, used the bathroom, whatever. Looking around, right across the street. Right across the street, there's this strip club. And maybe the strip club was called Chicks. I don't fucking know, dude. Uh, there's a strip club. And I see on the sign, it's like open now. And it says BYOB, Texas, okay? I'm not from Texas. I'm a Cali boy. And I'm like, there's no fucking shot that BYOB means what it is, right? At a strip club. So I'm looking at my bass player, and he's the only one that was like down to like figure this out. So we go walk over there, and we're probably buzzing by then. Walk up to there, they're like, hey, whatever, and they're like, welcome to whatever strip club and free entry. And I go, hey man, I'm not from here. Let me just get this straight real quick. So BYOB, what does that mean? That's got to be like some weird slang for you guys. And he's like, no, it's bring your own beer. I swear to God, my eyes probably went like bing, and I looked at my bass player, and we're like, what the fuck? So, yeah, we ended up going across the street again to some little market, and I bought a 30 pack of, I don't know, some shit beer. It could have been like Coors Light or something. And I walked back, and I'm just like, all right, let's see what happens. Granted, this is before a show, so this isn't like just a night off or something. I still have to play. So we go in there, and as soon as you walked in, the dancers, they're all doing their thing, and this girl walks up to us and sees we have this big 30 pack, and she's like, oh hi, do you want me to put that in a bucket of ice for you? I'm like, yeah, of course. So I'm just like, dude, okay. We go find a seat. Let me tell you, it's not the best looking place. um I'm just gonna leave it at that. You guys can come to your own conclusions. It was not the best place. But the girl comes back, big old bucket of ice and all her beer. And she's like, oh, can I have one? I'm like, yeah, of course. And she's like, yeah, we take tips and beers. Dude, come on. You know, I wasn't even into strip clubs at all, really, to be honest. Um, but that was just like something different. So me and my bass player in there, I'm probably telling everybody else, I'm like, come on, get over here. You got to get in here. This is crazy. Um, yeah, man, that was really cool. But yeah, by the time I was done, I gave all my beers out. They asked us, some of the dancers asked us, they're like, because we were younger, I was in my 20s, and they're like, why are you guys here? There's like a club down the street, there's a lot of younger girls. And I was like, I'm just playing across the street, man. I'm not going to go to this other strip club. I'm just there. And yeah, that was interesting. I don't know if that's still a thing over there. I haven't been to a strip club probably since. But yeah, that was pretty fucking crazy. But anyways, that was part of that story. Um, we were in Texas for at least 2 or 3 days, and then one of the other shows was supposed to be like a house show or something. Like, I don't know. It was Slim Pickens, and we showed up to this guy's house, this kid, and he was at that other show, and he was just like, yeah, like we can have like a barbecue or something. I'll invite all my friends, and we basically just set up and played in front of his house, and it was a huge house, like almost like a mansion type thing. And it's a really nice family. But we played the show, and then the kid that was living there was like, hey, this, I don't live by myself, but it's with my parents. You guys can stay the night. So we're like, yes, cool, another place to stay. And this is a nice, huge house in Texas. And the guy is just like, the kid, he's just like, my parents are very like traditional, like, and they're very, like, I'm pretty positive that his dad was like a preacher or something like that. And they were just saying to us, okay, you can stay here, but like don't touch anything, don't do anything dumb, and don't cuss and this and that, which is kind of tough, but we did it out of respect. Um, and that the family, like I said, was super nice. The dad says to us and this other band, like, you guys hungry? We're like, yeah, of course. So I think we followed him to Taco Bell. He goes into the front of the line and looks at all of us. There's probably like 20 of us. I'm not even kidding, because there's two bands, all our friends and whatnot, and or maybe less, maybe like 15. And the dad was just like, you guys order what you want, and he paid for it. Awesome. We go back to the house, and we find the room that we're gonna sleep in, and we're just kind of asking subtle questions, to the dad, and not to really really harp on it, but he said he was like a minister preacher, I don't know. And he was just saying, we want to help whoever we can, and yada yada yada, this and that. So the place we're staying at, it was super nice. It was a huge ass room, TV. I mean, it was free food, whatever we wanted. They're really opening about that, very welcoming, not opening, welcoming. And so one of the very strange things there is that I met the son, I met the father and the mom, and then there was pictures of this other kid, and he was younger. And things happen. He could have been a lot older. I don't know when the picture was taken, but I remember asking the kid, the son. I was like, "Hey, who's that?" And he's like, "That's my younger brother." And I was like, "Oh, like, is he here? Is he around or whatever?" And then he's like, "No, like, it's kind of a long story." He's like, "But he passed away." And I was like, "Oh, sorry. Like, I didn't mean to like get into the conversation like that. Trying to be as respectful as I can." And he was open about it, and he's basically saying, he's like, "Yeah, it's my younger brother," and he was very involved in the church, whatever church that they went to. I don't know if it was Christian, Protestant or Catholic. I don't know what kind of church is out there. And oh man, this one's crazy. So you're talking about the kid and this and that, and I started to pick up little things, because I was like, he's talking about him in past tense, like he's not alive, and I didn't want to say, "Oh, is he dead?" Like, I don't know. And he ended up telling me, he's like, "Yeah, so he was involved in the church, and I don't know how old he was. He was not a teenager, this kid. He wanted to be as close as he could be to God, okay? And he was questioning to the dad, the preacher, and everyone else, like, why are we here on earth? If all we're supposed to do is just be with God. Uh, and he ended up killing himself. Uh, they had a shotgun. This is Texas, and I guess he had said something along the lines of like, "Why are we here? And if all we're supposed to do is be with God and be happy with God," and he killed himself. Yeah, that was very insane. Did not expect anything like that, and it really set the vibe. You know, um, it was very strange, and it's sad too. It's really sad to think about. I don't know any more than that, but that's super sad. To just off yourself like that. Anyways, yeah, that was a strange thing. But one of the last things that happened, which isn't strange at all, isn't weird, but we ended up leaving one of the days, and the family wasn't preachy. They weren't like trying to like, "Oh, you guys are so messed up. You guys are tattooed and look like hoodlums," or you need to find God and this and that. There's nothing like that. He would say things here and there, but nothing to try to like force it on us. Not even preachy. But when we left, the dad comes and he's like, I hope you guys had a nice stay. Like, we stayed at a hotel, and he hands us a Bible, and I was like, "Oh, thank you." He's like, "If you ever need anything," he's like, "just open the Bible." That's all he said. And I respect that. I don't like people that force things on anyone. If you want to find something out yourself, do it. If you're open to it, sure. But I don't like the preachy people that force feed everything, anything. So we take off. We're like, "Man, this has been a weird couple days," and I just happened to open up the Bible, just want to see what's in it, and they gave us $100. It's $100 bill, and it had like a little note in there, just said like, "God bless you guys." I thought that was cool. Um, that's kind of to sum all that up. But yeah, it was touring does a lot to you on your body and mentally. Look at Lagatha. I can't even point right. Lagatha. Lagatha, what are you doing? She's on my guitar. What are you doing with my guitar, dude? But yeah, touring is fun. I miss touring, but I don't think my body can take it anymore. Just an old fart now. But yeah, that is what I want to talk about. I'm going to be doing a lot more music activities. And I've got stuff I've been working on recording, different things for my podcast. Not the stream, because I don't stream. I keep watching my videos. I'm like, dude, why do I keep saying stream? I have more ideas, more things to get involved with. A lot more things headed towards music. I know I went on about that in my first video about, everything's going to be music, and it literally hasn't been. So I'm going to work on that. But yeah, I'm going to get to editing because I like to edit these videos, but it takes forever. And I'm like a perfectionist, but like not to the point to where it's like going to come out perfect. I'm just like, these little things I got, like if there's little noises or whatever, I have to fix it. But yeah, I'm hoping to keep doing this and hopefully find new followers and whatever. It's just one last thing I'm going to say it and be that guy. Just don't forget to follow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Because it helps. And, I do eventually want to make some sort of money off of this. Because that's what I was doing streaming back in the day. But this is a lot different. But anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, dudes.
I heard he used to be in a band or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were
Toured and stuff.
Yeah, they used to call him Sleazy G or something. I don't get it.
The Georgezilla Podcast.